wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Bee. Show don't get her pissed. It's Jason talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Well, hello, happy day. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your Monday KVJ show. I know in my house it looked a little different today because we were sending a kid back off to school for the first time since March.
Yeah, it's a weird vibe.
Yeah, it is.
It's definitely different.
Boy, it is just kind of odd. It almost felt like a normal day. Almost.
So is he getting ready right now? Is that what's happening?
No, he's on his way. He's heading there right now.
Already?
Well, we got a weird, as if with everything in our life is odd and off. So, yeah, he's heading down to school, and so he'll be there in a little bit. So he travels early. So because my wife's got to go to school, and there's about 10 moving pieces. That if I broke it down, I'd probably need some flow charts. Yeah.
Oh man, that stinks.
There's a lot that goes into it. Yeah, it's not a simple concept of just getting on a school bus like in the good old days. Yeah, we got a lot going on, but yeah, he's going to be back in school today. So that's one of the big things happening in Palm Beach County.
Are the buses? Are they running?
They'll be running.
They
yeah.
are.
Yeah,
so
you got buses on the roads.
We're basically kind of looking at normalcy again.
Well, it'll be interesting to see, as they kind of get back into it, because it's not normal with the numbers. I think in Palm Beach County, 60,000 kids go back, 85,000 are going to stay at home.
Yeah, so more than half the kids have chosen to do virtual at-home learning. So the teachers that are in the classroom have like half the kids there and half the kids on the computer.
Yeah, I didn't say it was normal. I said we're looking down the barrel of normalcy.
I feel so bad for these teachers, man. They are the ones that are going to have to bear the burden of trying to figure it all out, man.
Yeah.
Half and half, that is tricky.
Yeah, it is. Well, we'll get a little bit more into that because there's a lot to unpack with the kids going back to school today, and other school districts that aren't quite there yet are going to be there soon enough. So we'll get into all that coming up here. So we got a lot to do on the Monday KVJ show.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, coming up in just a second, oh man, they had to shut down the Emmy pre-show, change it all up because several of the hosts tested positive right before they were supposed to go on the air.
Wow.
Oh, damn. Okay, I'll tell you who tested positive and what they did coming up in just a second. Before we get into that, did you see Danny Masterson from that 70s show appeared in Los Angeles Supreme Court on Friday being arraigned on those rape charges? He was arrested back in June, accused of raping 3 women in 3 separate incidents that happened between 2001 and 2003. He has been free on bail since that happened back in June, but if he is found guilty and convicted as charged, he could be facing 45 years to life in state prison.
Wow.
Your girl, was it Lena?
Leah Remini?
There it is. That's what I'm looking for. She was in the the Scientology
She
church.
hates it now.
Hates it now. She was there supporting the victim.
And she has called this, and I quote, just the beginning of the Church of Scientology's demise. She's trying to say that they covered up for a lot of sexual abuse, and that now the floodgates after this are going to be opening, and the Church of Scientology will have to answer for its crimes.
Well, people have been trying to take them down for a minute now.
They have. It'll be very interesting to see how this all shakes out. It looks like Eddie Murphy is not going to be doing comedy anymore. He is.
It's the stand-up. Remember, there was talks about him doing the stand-up, and he's thinking it's not the right time.
Okay.
Before the pandemic hit, we were planning this year we were going to be working on doing stand-up, getting the stuff together, and we were going to do it but all this stuff happened. So as soon as it's clear to go back out there, we're going out there and doing that. That's been the plan.
Mm-hmm.
He won an Emmy too for Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, he did for that appearance that he did. That's just amazing. Just one night of work, you can walk away with an Emmy.
I know.
I thought about that. I'm like, all these people, toil and put all this work into their Emmy, and Eddie just shows up one night and walks away with an Emmy.
I guess I didn't realize that's how it works, but you could win an Emmy for a specific show, an episode.
That's it. There's been a lot of people who have won just appearing on Saturday Night Live and having a brilliant episode and then walking away with an Emmy.
As E kicked off its Emmy coverage on Sunday, noticeably absent from the red carpet, Juliana Rancic and Vivica A. Fox. Now, they had been running promos with those girls all week, but I guess right before they went to go do the Sunday red carpet coverage, Juliana and Vivica both tested positive.
Oh, geez.
Juliana revealed that also her husband and her son tested positive as well, so they were all forced to miss that red carpet pre-show that happened on Sunday. But Sunday, the Emmys did go on. I guess they were testing everybody just to make sure and keep it like a safe little bubble of Emmys. And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, the Emmy Awards gave itself some very interesting moments. Jimmy Kimmel was hosting the show, and the winners were actually presented their awards at home or other remote locations. So here's Jimmy Kimmel welcoming the fake crowd to the Pandemies.
Well, hello and welcome to the Pandemies. Wow, it's great to finally see people again. The big question that I guess we should answer is, why would you have an award show in the middle of a pandemic? No, seriously, I'm asking, why are we having an award show in the middle of a pandemic? And what the hell am I doing here? This is the year they decide they have to have a host?
See, there you go. It sounded just like a regular show that way.
Yes. Boring and long.
They did a lot of the awards. They were mostly delivered to people in hazmat suits.
Okay.
And in fact, one of the funny ones was even the people who didn't win. In fact, there is a viral video of one of the people who didn't win making a video of the guy in the hazmat suit just sadly walking away from their house. They're going, wow, this is just defeating.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So they still get your sad face when you lose?
Yeah, there's
and
still...
it's from your house?
Well, there's somebody outside your house in a hazmat suit, and you don't know. You're thinking, did I win or not? And if you win, then they actually give you an Emmy. And then if you didn't, then the guy just walks away. Or girl, whoever it might be.
That's a major production right there.
It is. They put a lot into that, yeah. Jennifer Aniston had Courtney Cox and Lisa Kudrow with her.
Oh.
So that was one of the cool things that went on.
They really are friends.
Oh, whatever. You know they can't stand each other behind the scenes.
And how about the S-Bombs Creek?
They cleaned up, man.
They did. 9 Emmys last night. They broke a record for the most wins by a comedy series in a single season.
Isn't that the show you were into? Is it that good?
Here's the thing that I will tell you about S-Bombs Creek that they did. It was very amusing. It was great. And what they did in the final season, it was really filled with a lot of heart, and you'd grown to love the characters. And they did a great final lap of just making it really endearing. And it was still amusing. It wrapped up nicely. It really is a good lesson to a series on how to do it. And they hadn't won an Emmy at all before this final season. And then they win 9. And I think that's really it. There was an emotional attachment that if you'd watched the show all these seasons and how they wrapped it up, it was very satisfying. And you just felt really into it and very happy for them. The thing that's cool about it, too, is you could tell the cast really loved each other. You had Eugene Levy, who was the dad, but his real-life son, Daniel, was in the show with them. And so just seeing that, Catherine O'Hara was amazing. They all, in fact, the cast swept the acting categories in comedy. They won for Best Actor, Actress, Supporting, and Supporting Actress. And that's the first time that ever happened.
That's your Best in Show, peeps.
Yeah.
Because they love working together. They really do a great ensemble thing.
So I will tell you, it's not necessarily that the last season was just so amazing. I think it was more Emmys for the entire run of the show that they got.
They finally got their love.
Is a package.
Okay.
Yes. And so if you're a fan of that show, it's very satisfying to see them do so well even on the last season.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool. Succession got the Emmy for the best drama series. That is very well done.
I like that one.
That is a solid show. Nobody's going to argue that. Jeremy Strong from Succession won the Emmy for the best actor in a drama series. Zendaya won for Euphoria. She got the best actress in the drama series. And also last night's Emmys set a record for the most wins by black actors. So there's a lot of really cool, headline moments that happened last night at your Emmy Awards.
Did you miss a segment from the KVJ Show? Find it on kvjshow.com or soundcloud.com/KVJ Show.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you thinking about today, Jay Bird?
I don't think you guys can help me with it, but maybe somebody who works in the whole delivery food industry, they can help me out with this.
He's starting off with a matter of the heart.
It really is a matter of the heart. My question is, sometimes when I go on these food apps, there'll be a restaurant that I'm looking for. For example, it happened to me this weekend. I wanted to order back-to-back nights from the same restaurant because I enjoyed the experience so much the night before. So I go on the same app the next day. But now the restaurant is not available. It's gone. And that happens a lot. And the other thing that happens too is so I live in West Palm Beach, but they'll throw in restaurants from Green Acres now that are 30 minutes away.
So a lot of times the app will be cognizant of the restaurant's adjusted hours. And we went to, because yesterday I kind of went through the same thing. I was trying to pick up pizza for Panda, and his first two choices of places had adjusted their hours because of COVID, and they weren't open at like 3 o'clock when I wanted to get pizza.
So I completely understand that. And I'm factoring that in there. We're talking the same kind of time area because I've experienced that as well. They do change their hours because of the corones, but it was the same window of time just the next day. And they change it a lot, and they're adding so many restaurants that are 30, 35 minutes away. And I always feel like if you do get a restaurant, you got to tip a little more because they're driving so far.
Oh yeah, if a guy drives from 30 minutes away, you got to give him at least like $5 to $10.
Mm-hmm. But do restaurants, are they not liking the delivery Uber people or the delivery dudes? Do they not like working with them? Because I've noticed restaurants loving them, and all of a sudden it's like a bad breakup. Boom. Cold. They don't talk anymore.
I feel like they're on the outs.
They are on the outs. And I'm wondering if there's a lot of drama between the two. Because I know when there's an order messed up, they're always pointing at each other. Like, they got it wrong. Nope, they got it wrong. I just wanted the process. Deep dive, if you will.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. I watch a lot of investigative journalist stuff over the weekend.
Virginia, what you got on your mind today?
So yesterday, Mags took me out on the jet ski. You know, I'm all about going on the jet ski. The fun thing about the jet ski is, especially where we are up in Tequesta, you're basically in people's backyards. Everybody that lives on the water, you can kind of like see whatever they've got going on in their backyard. So we kind of we go slow. We check out people's houses. I'm nosy by nature.
Okay.
So it's actually,
that should be your rap group.
Nosy by nature, not because I hate you.
That's pretty good.
I love like going slow through Tequesta and checking out what everybody's got going on in their backyard.
Yeah.
It's just fun to me because it's beautiful. I mean, all these houses on the water are $1 million or more houses.
Right.
So it's really fun to see what they've got going on and be snoopy and nosy.
I feel like as a dude, if I said that, I just like looking back in people's yards and stuff. I'm considered creepy if I do that.
Well, that's what Mags told me. She's like, Mom, because I wanted to go down all the little finger canals and look and see what people have going on. And she said, Mom, you can't do that. You can only stick to, your canal where you park your boat or your jet ski, or you can go in the main waterways. Like we're on the Loxahatchee River, so you can go up and down that and see all the houses that are on that. But there's like smaller little finger canals that go into people's little, she says, private canals. canal and says that we can't go down those. And I don't know if she's telling me the truth or she just doesn't want me to be that nosy. Are the canals private?
You just gotta be careful when you are on anyone's property, because I told you that I was looking at that one house that was available and nobody was living there, but the neighbor saw me milling around the backyard and she threatened to call the cops on me. And my dad at a different time pulled into a driveway that wasn't his. Guy came out with a shotgun.
So are the canals considered private, or can we go up and down them in the jet ski and snoop?
I don't know.
They're not private.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Mags told me they were, and I was just like, all right, well.
Mags also told you that sneezing was not a sign of corona.
That's right.
Keep that in mind. And you were strong in your opinion on that.
Yeah, I believe everything my kid tells me. I feel like she's done the research.
No, you don't own the canal.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's the case.
No.
I don't either, because it's so fun to snoop and look and see what people got going on. Some people have it tricked out in their backyard. Like, I don't know why they would ever leave with the tiki bar and the pool and the jacuzzi and the sweet setup people have. It's really fun to spy.
Yeah, I know. There is something about it. I do catch myself whenever I'm back there just looking and be like, what do they got? The thing I always want to know is, what do they do? How do they have their money? We, my wife and I, we walk on Palm Beach every weekend. It makes us feel like we're rich. And we were walking by this one house and I saw this guy and I was sizing him up. His house was on the water. It's massive. It's one of those things that it looks like it could be a museum because it's not. It's too big.
It's next level.
It's too big for a family. I'm like, how many? I had so many questions, and I saw the guy, and I want to be like, okay, I got about 800 questions here. First of all, what do you do? How do you have your money? How much did this cost? How many rooms is this? How many people live here? Like, what is going on? It was unbelievable. And it was interesting because somebody was delivering him a package, and he has a gate. And I'm like, well, how is this going to work? Because it looked like, just one of those rich places where you can't easily access it. They have to open the gate, then you have to go, and it's this.
Oh, there's a call box.
It's an oversized front door, and the guy came out another side entrance to let the package. He's like, "Oh, come this way."
Secret entrance.
Gosh, I just had so many questions. I'm so fascinated.
Secret entrance makes me think possibly cocaine light. Maybe they're involved in that.
You think the package was blow?
Well, just secret pack. I don't know. You never know.
I agree with Bird.
Yeah, I don't know if it was secret. The guy was a FedEx driver and it looked pretty legit, but unless you can send cocaine through FedEx these days, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think it's recommended, but some people do.
You usually have a different private courier.
I bet people send cocaine through FedEx.
You think?
I do. Or just through the mail.
They don't have any kind of system that would catch that? Because if not, you would think that would used to be very easy for the cartels.
Maybe not FedEx, but through the mail. Yeah. I bet people do through.
I have a feeling that they probably have a system to stop that.
All right.
Otherwise, why do they work so hard to...
I'm just saying, in the history of mail,
okay.
I think people have absolutely sent drugs, cocaine through the mail.
I think they try.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of the whole system.
But do they drug dog sniff every piece of mail? I don't think it's logistically possible.
Yeah, I don't think it's the whole system. I'm just thinking some people have done it before and have been successful. Not every package is going to get caught.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm kind of curious what the screening system is. I would assume it would be legit because otherwise it would just be so easy. Why do these cartels bother with all these, secret drop-off locations and drug boats and all that kind of stuff? We can just simply put your cocaine in the mail and
what
send it
can
FedEx.
Brown do for you?
Right.
Well, they do it on a bigger scale. Yeah, I'm sure if someone could send $200 worth of cocaine through the mail and it'd be untraceable.
Yeah, but then why would you meet a dealer? Remember, even Rush Limbaugh had that issue that one time. Remember when he was buying the oxys?
Pills.
And they got him in a parking lot. I'm like, if Rush Limbaugh's got to go buy his oxys in a parking lot.
Look, I'm just saying of things that I've heard, okay? I grew up on the streets of Lake Park. I've heard that this has happened before.
And since you like going over to the island and looking at fancy houses, you can totally stalk where Rush lives. It's the northeast quadrant.
Yeah.
And it's even on Google Maps. It says excellence in broadcasting headquarters. I was totally stalking it one day.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Fascinating.
Might have to do that.
Go over there and snoop. Snooping is very COVID friendly because you do it by yourself and you do it sneaky style. There's no crowds.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're outside.
It's been a nice little diversion that we've found during these COVID times.
Snooping is the new COVID fun. on?
No, you're right. I mean, snooping at someone's house that doesn't belong to during a pandemic, what could go wrong?
Well, you can't get in it. You're just on the perimeter. But they can't stop you. It's a public street or waterway.
Yeah, somebody had texted in and said that unless it is marked as private for the waterway, you're good.
Ah.
Yeah, you're all good. Sorry, Mags. You've been had.
Mags, we're going canaling.
Some of the text, somebody said, you cannot send cocaine through the mail. It is checked by a machine that will catch it. The bird is wrong as normal.
Oh.
I totally disagree with that.
Okay.
Well, let's check it out.
I don't think it's your average thing.
Yeah.
But
somebody else says people do send drugs through the mail
of course
all the time.
Well, if they send weed through the mail, which I've heard of, you mean to tell me some joker hasn't tried to send cocaine through the mail? Of course they have. Now, if they do it and if they're going through the actual, they're going to the mail place and, people are checking stuff.
I know a guy that back in the 90s, and he was big crazy, like drugs, alcohol, all that. He used to ship himself drugs to his hotel before he checked in. And then when he arrived, they'd be like, oh, Mr. Jones, we have a package for you. And it's the package he sent himself full of all his drugs so he didn't have to fly with it.
Interesting,
that really happened. Now, I don't know what service he would use, if he would use FedEx or the
Do you know
mail.
about how long ago that was when he did that?
In the 90s.
90s, okay, yeah.
The reason why I was thinking or bringing it up, because I heard on a podcast, and who knows if, these stand-up comedians, they say they sometimes embellish stories, but there was a guy talking about how he has a listener that sends him Vicodin through the mail, and he basically puts it in an envelope, writes his address, and sends it to the mail. So if you can send Vicodin...
I think maybe that might be easier. It probably depends upon what the substance is. Somebody said that things really changed after the whole anthrax scares that happened around 9/11, and now they have computerized sniffers. It'll sniff out various products. Cocaine will really go off quickly. Hazardous chemicals go off quickly and are easily detected if you try to mail that stuff. So I guess it depends upon what substance you're trying to mail, maybe.
We're learning.
As to how it
I
is.
wonder how
we should
accurate...
call? We should call my dad because he just retired from being a postmaster a couple of years ago. I bet he would know.
Yeah, I guarantee you, majority of the time, you're going to get busted, but nothing's 100% in this planet. Nothing.
Things slip through the cracks. It'll happen. What is on my mind here today is I've already received some feedback from people that went to yesterday's Dolphins game. Dolphins and the Bills. And if you're watching football like I am, a big football junkie, you're just noticing, and it is very odd to me, that some stadiums have fans in them and some of them do not. And I guess it's just set on the sensibilities of the community, which I'm fine with that.
It's really up to the city officials.
Yeah.
And each city has different officials set different ways. Some are super tight, some are kind of loose.
Right.
It's
So
no cohesive.
And I'm really surprised considering where Miami had been set and where the numbers were when they even made the decision. Now Miami's looking a lot better. Miami-Dade is looking pretty good percent positive wise, still under 5% as of yesterday. And they have already had one game with 13,000 fans. Yesterday, 13,000 fans were in attendance. They've got the Canes-Knowles game is coming up this coming Saturday at Hard Rock Stadium. 13,000 fans will be in attendance. And it's just kind of interesting. And somebody had said, already sent a text, said it was nice. Everybody was spaced out. If you had, something you're eating, you could have your mask off. And so I kept a beer in my hand the entire day. I had my mask off the entire time, felt safe, felt like everything was sanitized properly and good. And I know you had family that went. Did they have any comments about what it was like at the game?
They seemed to love it, that there was no issues whatsoever. The only problems were the power went out at the stadium.
They had a lot of problems yesterday. They had the power went out.
And then lightning.
And then, they had two major delays. So they kept kicking over to the Steelers game yesterday, which I was okay with. But
that was all just stuff that's out of your control. I don't think that was COVID,
No.
Especially the lightning.
Yeah, no, it was an odd day for the Dolphins game yesterday. And there were good, parts of it that you didn't want to see. But yeah, your Bills fans were happy.
Yeah. But I think a lot of the season ticket holders that hold Dolphins tickets were selling them to Bills fans.
Is that how your Buffalo family got their tickets?
They did. They got them from a guy that has been buying season tickets since the Dolphins started. Like his family has been grandfathered in.
In the 60s or whatever.
So those
it was.
people got first pick. And because they got first pick, that's how they got like the best seats. Yeah, so
The best seats. Huh?
I guess they were very happy with the seats.
When does your family go back?
They go back today at 4.
Okay. It's a nice little
Do
vacation.
you guys go out a lot as a group?
We did outdoor dining on Friday, but that's it. I mean, they've gone out. They did indoor dining last night, but I didn't go.
Okay. So you and Panda stayed in for the most part?
Yeah.
Except for Friday?
Friday we went out for the outdoor dining, went to Benny's. But then the rest of the weekend we just stayed home, me and Panda.
Okay. Yeah, so it is kind of interesting if other stadiums will start opening up and letting fans in if they see that, you know, a Dolphins game or a Canes game at Hard Rock is not a super spreader event, and they don't have a lot of cases for that. The only thing that might be a detraction was in Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio's kind of weird. They're set a little bit like Florida has been, kind of a little bit tight here, a little bit looser there. They had 6,000 fans in the game, but then videos started coming out. Apparently, Browns and Bengals fans started brawling. And it's very hard if you're in a stadium fight to maintain proper social distancing. So there were massive fights breaking out in the stands, and I'm just wondering, I'm like going, don't, come on, man. Like, we're trying to get this thing good. I would love to go and see a game this year. I would be totally cool with going out there and being one of the 13,000, and then you guys start fighting in the stands, you knuckleheads.
I wonder how many people were actually fighting. Did it turn into one of those?
It was little pockets. I think there were a few.
Well,
because it's a big rivalry, but still, God, stop fighting.
You probably can hear people talk trash more clear, too, because it's a little bit more empty.
Sure, yeah. I'm sure that's kind of the way it goes. And you do have a little bit more space to fight, so
yeah,
you know, that is the good news.
The thing about it is, everybody's set right now is a little bit more tweaky and squirrely. So
yeah,
just like they're fighting more in Walmart, yeah, they're probably going to fight more in stadiums.
Well, a lot of these people, they haven't had a chance to fight for a very long time. I mean, the pandemic shut down backyard brawling.
It's 6 months of no backyard brawl.
Yeah, so they got to get this out of their system. So when they go out and they see another human face, they want to punch it.
Especially if it's wearing the opposing rival team's logo.
There's drinking involved. Oh, come on.
Yeah. I don't know how they didn't see brawls coming.
So it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, oddly enough, most stadiums do not have any kind of fans in it. But in South Florida, we do. And we'll continue to do so, it looks like, unless something bad happens. And the numbers looking pretty good again yesterday. So low case numbers, relatively speaking, and that percent positive, which you want to look at, is pretty good, pretty low. The 3 troublesome counties all under 5%.
Nice.
Which is what you want to know. Oddly enough, Broward is the lowest. They were just over.
Really?
Yeah. It's very. I'm like, what is Broward doing?
I found out something sad that the community college I played baseball at, Broward, I guess is it Broward?
Broward Community?
Yeah. Their baseball program went bye-bye because of COVID.
Yeah,
and so did another one, I think, in Miami. It's very sad what's happening, and I don't know if they're going to recover from it.
They may not. Yeah, that's the one thing that people are like, "Oh, this is so stupid." They're trying to have football during a pandemic, and the reason why they are is because there's a lot of things that are tied to it. And there's
money.
Yeah, football programs typically make all the money for sports programs at universities, and so when the football money doesn't come in, or just even not as much, there's a lot of schools that have had to cancel multiple sports. And likely forever. So that means those kids won't get scholarships now.
You would like last night on 60 Minutes, they did a thing on LSU, so that's why I watched it.
Yeah, I saw, yeah.
That Coach O and how they've had to restructure everything now with COVID. And it's fascinating to see, like, behind the scenes, how they're recruiting, what they're doing, how they're doing workouts, his philosophy. It's very fascinating to see the adjustment.
Yeah.
And at LSU, they're not so scared of COVID as maybe some other places. They're like, what whatever.
Well, they're good because all their players have already had it. So
That's what
they're,
he said.
Yeah.
He's like, look, we've already worked it through here.
Yeah.
Most of my players already had it.
They're good. They started early.
And they won't reveal the numbers either. They said that on 60 Minutes. LSU won't say how many had it, but that a lot of them already had it, y'all.
They get a lot of flack, and people are trying to figure out if they actually kind of were like, yeah, why don't you guys just mingle a little bit? Why don't you have yourself a little COVID party?
Oh, lordy.
To go back to the whole Broward Community College thing with the baseball, you really feel like they may never come back from that?
They may not. It depends.
Gosh, that's so sad.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, the athletics, and hopefully they do, but it'll at least be a while. And I think you're talking about multiple years. That's what a lot of programs. I mean, we're talking about travel and tourism being, they think 3 years before we get back to our normal levels here in Florida, and so you're probably going to see about that same time for a lot of those things that go bye-bye.
Half the schools I played baseball for now don't even have teams or don't even exist.
Wow.
Yeah, it's COVID's going to make some permanent changes.
I know.
On things you're used to, and that's going to be
The
some of
older
it.
you get, the more change you'll see.
There it is. There's that.
There's that
depressing comment.
Yeah, that Monday morning negativity we're looking
Closer to death.
Yes.
Every birthday, you're closer to death.
All right, I want to jump into the conversation. You can 877-979-WRMF. You can call or text the KVJ show. Well, good news is if you were worried about TikTok, it looks like it's going to be spared. So teenagers heading off to school today, that is some great news. President Trump has said that he's given his quote-unquote blessing to a proposed deal. They would see TikTok partner with Oracle and Walmart. And it was a little bit scary because on Friday we didn't know because there was a report that maybe they might shut it down on Sunday. And thankfully that did not happen.
So a lot of Mags' friends love TikTok so much. Over the weekend, they all figured it out, Kevin, how to beat the system. You just change your geographic area to Canada, and Canada is not shutting down TikTok. It's only the U.S.
Really?
So all our friends, now when they come up, they're Canadian. Their area is Canada. And now all these kids have to go back in and change their region
now that it's okay.
to the U.S. They're like, we figured it out. You can't shut us down. Now we're just Canadian.
Isn't it amazing how smart kids can be when they have to be? It's like what presses them into actually using their mind?
It's low-key brilliant. I
Yeah, it
mean,
is.
change your location to Canada. What do you care?
Yeah, they were set to ban both WeChat and TikTok over national security and data privacy concerns, but Trump said the deal would create a new company based in the U.S. The new company will bring in at least 25,000 people, making $5 billion contribution to a fund dedicated to education for Americans. So they had to pay a little bit of a price to do it. The deal will make Oracle responsible for hosting all of TikTok's U.S. user data. And that was the big thing that apparently they were worried about. And Walmart said it will provide its e-commerce. So they'll still be involved a little bit as well. So good news, kids. TikTok's going to be fine, and you don't have to be Canadian unless you want to be.
Denny said it's real easy to get into. Just, there's a door to Canada.
Yeah, it is.
Don't even think you need a passport.
Bridge in the door.
Mm-hmm. There's something interesting on Facebook that I saw somebody writing up about, and they're like, I'm not really sure what to do about this setting that they have. And I didn't realize they even had this, where you can set on Facebook to tell them what you want them to do with your profile after you die.
I was thinking about this morning. How weird is it that you brought that up?
There you go.
I still have a few friends on Facebook that have passed away. Mm-hmm. And I'm at my limit of friends on Facebook. So when do you drop the dead?
Dang.
It's kind of heavy, but it's a real thing. Like last week, our partner from No Name Movie Game, Zach, wanted me to add him, but I couldn't because I reached the Facebook limit.
Well, let me ask you this. How much did you like that dead person?
A lot. I haven't been able to drop any of the dead because I can't take my mind there.
Yeah, I'm on. I just went up to on Ann's Facebook, and it's still up there, and people are still leaving. They still leave messages up there. It's still active.
Yeah, that's kind of it. You've got three different options. You can either make it a memorialized account, you can elect to make it a legacy account or somebody to look after the account, or you can have the account just wiped out and deleted. Now, I like the whole, memorialized account. In fact, I guess you can even schedule posts. Let's say, for instance, you get a terminal disease, or let's say that you right now just want to say, I want to schedule something for 50 years, and let's just hope that Facebook is still around.
I want to schedule something for April 1st. Mess with people.
You could, yeah. That's
So
just
even when you're dead, you're going to be doing bad comedy?
Oh, and you're the #1 target.
I'm not making it 50 years from now, Mama. There's no shot.
Well, the thing that might be interesting is you could always leave, for instance, like right now, I started thinking about this. I'm like, okay, well, if you could schedule posts, I mean, imagine that. Maybe you go 30 years into the future or 40 years or 50 years, or whenever you think you might be no longer around, and you leave birthday messages to your kids on that date so that they're still around. If Facebook is still around, then they'd be like, oh, I got a message from my mom, Virginia. Now, would that be awesome, or would they be going, this is really freaky?
No, I think when it comes to your loved one, if I got a message from my mom or Aunt Ann, I wouldn't be creeped out. I'd understand what it is. It'd make me feel good. I love the idea.
Yeah, and I started thinking about that. I'm like, how cool would that be if you really just, as an exercise, you sat down and said, okay, let me, drop at this certain time and start scheduling posts on my kids' birthdays. Just a message, maybe just every time saying one thing that you love about your kid and saying, hey, happy birthday. I'm not there to tell you this personally, but I always love this about you, or remember the time, or something like that. I'm like, how cool would that be to do that? I'm like, to me, that's the way Facebook should go. And I would always keep that account around. Now, if you have somebody close to you, and I think it's kind of like with anything, how close was the person? Like you're talking about, do you delete or unfriend somebody that's dead? If they're an acquaintance, maybe.
Yeah, so how many dead people do you have, Virginia? Do you think over or under 3?
Over.
Okay.
Think about this, too, because I was just riding to work thinking about this. How many dead people are on Facebook right now? I bet you a lot.
Oh, a ton.
If I know,
a
5,
I'm sure there are millions.
lot.
I'm sure there are millions.
There's a lot of dead people on Facebook, and it's just weird to think about.
You're going to have to do the reality show kind of thing where you have to vote someone off the island. Out of the remaining dead that you have, who's the one you like the least? They got to go.
That's hard, man.
Yeah,
you don't want to do anything to piss off the dead.
Or you could kill somebody now you don't like and then just delete them.
Yeah,
seems like a lot of work.
There's no way everyone on your Facebook you like. There's no way. There's no way they like you. There's got to be one you can.
There's no way they like you.
Boot me off.
No, I don't want to boot you off.
I'm kidding.
You keep saying that, but I actually like seeing what you're up to.
I'm kidding. Yeah, we'll find someone to. There's a way to look at your friend. There's some people that under 5,000 that are inactive now, and there's a way to be able to find that.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, like inactive businesses. I want to drop all of them.
Yeah, we'll get you good.
Good tip.
So I was thinking about it. If you haven't done it yet, either having a memorialized account or maybe the legacy is kind of cool too, where your kids could still go in and let's say, for instance, like I die, and then all of a sudden all my haters come out. And they just, trash my page and just how terrible I was and all that kind of stuff. It'd be nice to be able to have somebody be like, okay, let's take that off.
Don't worry, Kevin. No one's going to smear your name. We're going to make sure of it. And if they do, there will be justice for Kevin.
Even in death, don't read the comments.
Yeah, that'd be the one time I don't. All right. Any other thoughts? Have you done anything special with your Facebook other than just leaving the birthday messages like I suggested for your kids after you go? What are you going to be doing with your Facebook? You can hit us up and let us know. 877-979-WRMF. Not talking about Facebook. Would you leave a memorialized page? Would you pre-schedule messages for somebody after you die to send to them, like maybe on birthdays or something like that? Is that cool or is that creepy? Somebody said in college, one of my friends passed away, and his mom continued to post on his Facebook profile as if it were him posting. It was super creepy. Yeah, that might be kind of odd.
That's creepy.
That is creepy.
Every post needs to come with the disclaimer of explanation and say, hey, I planned this ahead of time just so that you would always remember me. I love you. And then, don't make it sound like it's being posted from heaven.
What if it came with a voice, too? You turn up the volume on your computer. You could hear your parent or your loved one or whoever passed away. You hear, good morning, Kevin. It's your dad.
You could schedule videos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could.
And it could be a video message that would pop up on a certain day.
Well, Kev, none of us ever know when we're going to die. All of our days are numbered and not promised.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's that manic Monday.
Make your message today. Don't put it off. You
That's a
never
good-
know when you're going to get hit by a bus.
You're right. Yeah. That'd be kind of fascinating. Interesting. I wonder how my kids would feel if I did that to them and it would pop up.
Well, here's the thing. Nobody's kids have Facebook.
That's true.
So
that's the problem.
You're leaving a message for a ghost.
You're right. All the people I'm friends with on Facebook are going to be dead before me. So
I thought the youth was. I thought they still liked Facebook.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because you're wrong a lot. I thought Kevin had another article that no, Facebook actually more younger people are part of Facebook than you think. That's what Kevin had it. He had the article.
All I know is I go off of Magnolia and her friends,
Oh, okay.
and they say Facebook is
that's
for
all the sample group we need.
moms and dads.
Again, I don't want to keep calling your daughter out for being wrong.
This show is the world according to Mags.
That's all I have.
It's the only truth we have. Well, this is a fun little game that we could play with a lot of kids Magnolia's age. Like Island. It is a show actually called Love Island. It's on TV way too much, 5 nights a week. And we always love taking a scene from that and guessing how many times they can say the word like in that amount of time.
It's on every single night. I can't believe, because the ratings weren't good last year, they signed it for another year, and they're still really jamming it down your throat.
There's so much of it, I can't commit because it's just too time consuming.
There was one part where the girl, you're supposed to like reveal something about a secret, and you're supposed to guess who the secret's about. And one of the girls admitted that she took a dump on the side of the road because she couldn't get to the bathroom one time. Something about her taking a dump, and everyone was really grossed out. She was afraid that no one's going to find her attractive. And then the one guy said, "I loved your dump story."
There's always one.
After
Birds of a feather.
After they told that story, she tells us they show them making out in the villa.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, different dumps for different chumps.
So we got a clip here that's 35 seconds long. How many times do you think they can drop the word like in 35 seconds?
Two people talking back and forth. They're talking about, again, another person that they like. There's a lot of emotion, Virginia.
Oh, and it's somebody they like.
Like.
Oh.
I mean, like.
Okay. All righty. How many times will they drop like in 35 seconds, Virginia?
Show me 17.
That's usually a safe number.
I got to tell you, I counted 4 different times, and I got 4 different answers. This is a tricky one.
We know this show is bad at math, but we do have to have a number.
This one's tough.
Okay.
I'm gonna go a little higher than normal. I'm gonna go 21. 21 on this round.
21, okay.
21 in 35 seconds.
That's not a lot of time.
Okay, let's see how many we can get through here. How many likes in this 35-second clip from Love Island?
So how do you feel like about Trey? He really shocked me. We have so much in common, and he was.
Okay, boy, how many? That's a lot. What is that? 3 or 4?
I got 4 already because she sneaks a quick one in there you can barely hear.
Dang.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, we're 4 likes in 6 seconds. Okay.
So easy to talk to. Yeah. And then after that, I was like, okay, I can see something with Trey, I still have.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I'm at 8.
I'm at 8 too.
Okay. We're at 8 and 13 seconds. Okay.
I was a little bit still skeptical because he still seemed like a little reserved, and I was like, I would love for him to open up a little bit.
Okay, I think we got 3 more there.
I'm at 11.
I'm at 11.
Okay, we're at 11 likes in 20 seconds. We still got 15 seconds left. We're at 11.
I definitely feel like he has that. So I feel like the more that you'll talk, he'll open up.
Okay, we got 2 more.
I believe 2. I counted 2.
I'm at 13.
Me too.
Okay, 13 and 25 seconds, 9 seconds left.
Because when I was talking to him too, I feel like it was just very genuine conversation. It's hard when you're not in a secure couple like everybody else, you know?
Okay, was that 5 more?
That's 18, Kevin.
I counted 18 as well.
Wow.
But I think it's 18.
18.
I've already lost the tournament.
You were close. You said 21.
Yeah. I said I went real high. I went 21. Virginia went 17, so Virginia got it.
I know, but Price is Right rules. I went over. You're closer.
Yeah. Okay.
I had to edit out another 10 seconds, which did the clip would have been too long, it would have been too much, but it had another at least 8 likes in there.
It's unreal.
It's unreal. And that's not even the worst clip. I'm doing a deeper dive. You're gonna get more like Island.
Wow.
Yeah, it's when they have their little one-on-one talks. That's when you got to catch them.
It's noticeable to people that are not in Gen Z. For people in Gen Z, do they notice how often they say like?
No.
Is it like a genetic thing that like happened to like that whole generation?
No, not everyone in Gen Z likes you to death. Millennials like you to death too.
Okay.
I do it too. People call me out for it. Like, you better shut up. You do it all the time.
When you hear it, it catches. It's like I'm telling you, it is more catchy than COVID.
It's a verbal crutch.
Yeah,
and
it's a verbal virus is what it is.
If you can't think of what to say, it really does help you thread your words together.
But you actually have to practice that in your personal time consciously to get that out of your system. You have to go into it as almost a drill, if you will.
It's not easy.
Talking back and forth and saying, okay, don't say like. You have to practice that because it is a crutch.
This would be a great shot collar experiment if we could get one of the cast members in studio to wear it.
I put on Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we need to do.
You can put it on. I mean, I'd see if I can get Mags in here with some of her friends.
Break them of their like habit.
You just said like 2 times in that sentence.
It happens.
No, you did it, but that's how bad you don't even know. I'm confusing you.
Oh.
Yeah.
You confused me.
Oh, confuse us, say.
Congratulations, we're all confused. All righty. Got a lot of celebrity birthdays today. Jason Derulo doing great in the entertainment industry from Miramar, Florida. He's turning 31 years old today. Nicole Richie, Paris Hilton's other BFF, is 39 today. Got to say, what up to Carlton from The Fresh Prince, turning 49 today. Alfonso Ribeiro. Found out when we talked to him that his parents live in West Palm, right? And hang out at Bradley's, and he comes into town a good bit.
Yeah, people have seen him in Bradley's.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Luke Wilson is 49. Faith Hill turns 53. Dave Coulier from Full House turns 61. Bill Murray is 70 today. And Stephen King turns 73. And got a birthday shout out to Ryan. He grew up listening to the show and loves KBJ. That is from Monica. Quick chant for Ryan.
Ryan.
Got a birthday and you want to get it on the KVJ show, you can let us know. Mail at kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com. Well, today in Palm Beach County, things are going to look a little bit different. I guess probably even a heads up when it comes to traffic. There's going to be 60,000 students that are going to be heading to school today that were not heading to school on Friday. 85,000 kids are going to be still learning remotely, doing the virtual schooling. So what exactly does it look like? We got some interesting comments from teachers in on Friday to say, hey, what do we need to know? What do the behind the scenes look like? And what struggles are you going through? Well, my son, for the first time since March, is actually going to school today, like going to the actual building. So it's weird, just kind of a change. I forgot about what the hustle and bustle was like in the morning. Kind of had to reset myself to that today and how tough it is to get a 12-year-old kid out of a house to go to school.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was a whole new challenge.
And he's probably getting up way earlier.
Yeah, he is.
Than he was for virtual.
Absolutely.
I know my kid barely got out of bed for virtual.
That's such a fight. At certain ages.
It's tricky because when I went to bed last night, they were all still up. Mags and Rocco. I was like, I'm going to bed. Y'all should too. And they were like, whatever.
Yeah.
What time you go to bed at?
I went up like just after 9.
You old.
I am.
60,000 kids in Palm Beach County go back to school today. 85,000 still going to be learning remotely. There are a lot of parents that still want to keep their kids home, obviously. And if you are sending your kid, what does that mean? How are you going to be able to track and see what's going on? If there is a little bit of a COVID outbreak, they're going to be doing mainly online dashboards. Pretty much a lot of the schools, I think, in South Florida have it. 36 of 70 districts in Florida do offer the dashboard. And if you do not, let me know, because I didn't get a breakdown of exactly who does. But I think in our southern counties, we do have it. On Friday, the dashboard showed that more than 800 students and nearly 500 teachers and staff in the state had become infected since the districts opened for in-person learning on August 10th. So I know that a lot of people have been doing it, especially our northern counties here for WRMF have been doing it for a while, and that's what they say the numbers are. This is what I think is interesting. Children in contact with an infected person at school has to stay home for 14 days. It's the quarantining stuff. And they even said that, like, for instance, there is a kid that is just like talking in a media center to a kid that winds up testing positive, then that student would have to quarantine, it sounds like. So that would be an interesting little twist if you're trying to figure out your own work schedule and then all of a sudden you get a call and be like, hey, yeah, your kid was talking to a kid in the media center that was infected, and now they're going to have to stay home for 14 days.
So I think the lesson is tell your kid to keep their friend group small. Don't mix and mingle with a bunch of other kids at school. Maybe just keep a little tight bubble.
I think that's going to be the tough part, though. I mean,
Right.
you can tell that to kids, but
These are kids. They want to see their friends. They haven't seen their friends in a while, and they want to be back in the socializing realm.
Well, historically, teenagers have listened to adults.
yes. Just to kind of give you an idea, from Brevard County, a little bit north of where we are, 19 cases in the schools has led to 204 people being quarantined. So I'll let you know how a relatively small number, about exponentially how that grows and how many people have to be quarantined because of it. So, we'll wind up seeing what happens there. There is a lawsuit on Friday. I guess it didn't make it through in time. There's 8 educators in Palm Beach County claiming that their lives and countless others are being put at risk with going back to school. And they want a judge to close the county's 180 public school campuses. I think they're going to have a hearing on that today, but it didn't go through on Friday. So imagine if that went through. You'd have one day of school and then they shut it down again.
Will we get any good clips, you think? People losing their minds?
Yes. Yeah, there's so many good clips. There's even one that has come out here. Boca Raton elementary teacher Edith Pride, she was talking to the school board on Wednesday and, kind of like throwing a little bit of a note out there to parents, kind of let them know, because there is still going to be a lot of the virtual learning going on, and teachers have been teaching with the virtual learning, and the teachers have been seeing some very interesting things happening in kids' homes that Edith wanted to tell you about.
Like in the background and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, people are seeing horrific things.
This is Edith's warning.
Parents, please make sure that you have on proper clothing when you're walking in front or behind the child's computer. Because we done seen them in their drawers, the bra, and everything else. Parents, when you're helping your children at the computer, please do not appear with big joints in your hands and cigarettes. The joint be big as a cigar. Oh, yes, we done seen it all.
Thank you, Edith. You're always a breath of fresh air.
Aww.
I love it. Edith is right.
I love
Edith brings the sassy.
She is right.
Yeah, Edith Pride from Boca Raton Elementary. So there you go.
I love it.
She is bringing it. So yeah, she just wants to warn the parents, just to keep that in mind. I thought this was kind of interesting, this email that we got here. I guess I never thought about this. Have you ever had one of your teachers give you information you knew was wrong?
Yeah.
Where you're like, I don't think that's right, actually. We talk so much in life about fake news, but what happens when a teacher does it? And somebody sent us an email about a teacher that was. I'll tell you about coming up next. Well, there's a lot of kids going back to school today. Palm Beach County, Broward, they're going to start October 5th. I think they're doing a couple phases, like phase 1 and then phase 2 is going to be the following week. And so, it's kind of interesting to get the perspective from students that have already gone back for kids that are going back now. They're going back under different circumstances. What exactly is it going to look like, from the classrooms to the desks and the spacing? I think in Broward, they said a typical classroom can seat about 14 students while maintaining social distancing. And so we were kind of wondering that too, because I'd heard about, especially I think it was in high schools, that some of them have those spillover classes where maybe they have to go to a cafeteria or a gymnasium.
Sure, because if you go like over the number 14, then they're not 6 feet apart anymore, and you can't. Oh my gosh, can you imagine having to split up a class and you have to have 2 different teachers?
Yeah. And then I was reading about the quarantining in the Sun Sentinel, and they said children in contact with an infected person at school will stay home for 14 days. Somebody gave us a little bit more clarity on that. The rule is that if the student is in the 6-foot proximity for more than 15 minutes and that student tests positive, then the student that they were talking to has to quarantine, or I guess the 14 days.
Gotcha.
So your kids should be setting a timer, and at 14 minutes, they have to stop talking to whoever it is that they are, and they must be 6.5 feet away when having their conversation.
So you got to send them with an egg timer in their pocket.
Yes. As soon as you start the conversation, start that timer, and at 14 minutes, walk away and stay at 6.5 feet. That way you're going to be fine. Got an email, though, on something that's interesting as school does start to fire back up. I guess I never really thought about this. Everything my teacher said, I always took as the gospel. Like, this is the truth. This is the word. This is unquestionable. But teachers are human.
I had the same math teacher in middle school, and it was confirmed he was drunk the entire time. So there was a lot of things he said are like, I don't know if that's right.
Let's not judge this guy.
Well, you should, because I can't multiply.
So what do you do when you notice a teacher is teaching you something that is blatantly false and wrong? Got an email that said, I am working from home and I've been eavesdropping in some of my kids' classes. And the other day I heard his teacher talking about the Underground Railroad, the system of moving slaves out of the South to freedom in the North. Well, my son's teacher was telling the kids that there actually was a railroad underground, complete with trains and stations. I thought the teacher was joking at first, but as the lesson went on, I could tell that they weren't. Now, I don't want to be that mom, but should I say something to either the teacher or the principal that this is completely wrong information? There weren't physically trains underground with actual train stations. It was just the term given to the system of moving slaves out of the South. I just wonder what other bad information my kid might be getting.
You mean it wasn't like a subway?
Yeah, it wasn't like there wasn't a ticket, there wasn't a stop, there wasn't a conductor necessarily like you might expect.
Oh, well, then why do they call it railroad, Kevin?
Yeah, I hear you. You're right. Seems to make sense.
I would, if you're that curious and you know that you're completely right, I would say, so tell me how you learned this stuff about the railroad. Where are you getting your information at?
She heard it.
Yeah.
She heard the teacher giving the instruction because of the virtual school.
No, but what I'm saying is ask the teacher, where did she get that information from? Cite her source. Like, what is she talking about?
So maybe the best thing might be for this mom to email the teacher.
Yes, and have her
to say, hey, can you tell me, like, where did you see that there was an actual underground railroad?
Because you're all you're doing is asking her to cite your source. You're almost kind of, I want to learn. You're not really calling them out. You are calling her out, but you're not.
Yeah.
So it won't be that. And then you'll see what they say. And if it's ridiculous, which it's going to be.
She had asked about the principal. Is that not cool if you take something like that to what would be her boss to say, hey, this teacher is teaching what I know to be blatantly false information?
Yeah, it's a tough one because you're going to get her in trouble and then you're the rat. But if she's giving bad information to the kids, I mean...
You can't have teachers giving the bad information. I mean, when you're that wrong, I think...
It's pretty wrong, yeah.
I think you have to... I think you're allowed to say something to the teacher.
Yeah, at the same time, though, if you email the teacher directly and it doesn't go anywhere else... I know this is one thing, having lots of teachers in my families and hearing the stories, teachers do kind of sometimes hold grudges based on the actions of the parent.
Absolutely.
And do you want to put your kid in a tough situation this early in the school year where the teacher's like, okay, all right, going to call me out on my Underground Railroad stories?
Abraham Lincoln was never president, kids. Like, yes, he was. Yes, he was. Like, when do you call out a teacher?
He died in a combine accident.
Yeah, when do you call out a teacher when they're so blatantly wrong?
Yeah.
That one's tough, man.
What would you do?
I mean, if you're going to rat that teacher out to the principal, you have to do it anonymously. You can't put a target on your kid's head. Trust me, I've done that.
Yeah.
And it's not worked out really well.
You know what? Anonymously is the best way to do this. Just send an email to whoever and go, look, this is what the teacher was teaching. It is wrong.
Well, here's the thing that is, I guess, in a sense, good. You overheard this on a virtual lesson.
And you overheard it. So there's no hearsay.
Well, here's the thing I was going to say is the virtual lesson, they're all recorded. Students can go back and you can rewatch those. You can let the principal know on this day at this time, they were talking about the Underground Railroad. Here's the information on the Underground Railroad. It wasn't actually a railroad with trains underground and train stations. And here's my source, and just be like, just wanted to let you know that this lesson was being taught incorrectly.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get it right. You have to get the history.
Well, that one's kind of important. I mean, it's kind of pivotal.
Because you know, Jaybird's coming here with some kind of story later on as an adult, and he's like, "Oh, and I swear somebody told me that at one point in my life." Imagine this kid who, when he's 35 years old, is talking all of a sudden, going, "There really was a railroad. There were trains. It was underground. I don't know where, but there was. I learned this in school."
Well, I told you, I learned a lot of wrong stuff from that drunk teacher. I'm not kidding you.
So I guess you do have to say something. Maybe that is the best way to handle it. That's just my thoughts.
You would say something, wouldn't you? I don't know if you do, actually.
I don't know. I probably would just talk to my kid and say, hey, I want to let you know your teacher's not right. But then it would make me nervous that if they're not right on this, what other bad information are they teaching my kid? Are they teaching a subject they don't really know and they're making it up as they go?
Yeah, there's a certain professions I think you do have to get it right. Like a doctor, if you're about to operate in the left arm and you're getting the problem's in your right arm, you'd have to stop that doctor. Go, no, you're wrong.
Yeah. Stephanie in the chat room, she said, yeah, I saw one time one teacher went on this soapbox about honesty and then she got caught in a huge cheating scandal.
Oh, boy.
It was awesomely awful. And Zach in the chat room said, you know, in high school, if you find the error in a textbook, you can email the book company and you can get paid. I got $50 when I was in high school.
That's cool.
I found an error in a textbook. Fascinating stuff. Okay, you over here on a virtual chat in the virtual classroom that the teacher is blatantly teaching your kids some bad information. This one is pretty sound. The teacher was talking about the Underground Railroad. And how there was actually physically an Underground Railroad with trains, train stations, all that kind of stuff, bringing slaves to freedom in the North. And the parents like, yeah, I don't think there was actually Underground Railroad trains.
It was metaphorically.
Yeah, it was, yes, absolutely. And so they're like, how do I handle this? Do I go to the teacher? Somebody texted in and said, yeah, always go to the teacher first. Going over a teacher's head first is the wrong way to do it. I understand that, but I do know that sometimes teachers do then kind of get upset and they, you know, get a little passive aggressive against your student.
Even if you call them out, them being wrong, you do it in a polite way, some people will.
Yeah, somebody texted in and said, my son was kicked out of a private school for correcting the chemistry teacher too many times. And they sat down and they looked at each example, and my son was correct each time. They just didn't like him, I guess, challenging the authority of the teacher.
You see that they have clips of that on YouTube where a teacher's wrong and the kid's corrected him and the teacher gets all butthurt.
Multiple times?
Multiple times. He kept
and then they kicked the student out?
They kicked the student out because he was challenging the teacher's authority.
Wow, that is a messed up scenario. Why would a school keep a teacher like that?
I don't know. That's what the text says. It'd be interesting to do a deeper dive. You
it
got
would
more
be,
info.
because how did the kid call the teacher out, first of all? You know what I mean?
Hey, dummy.
Exactly. Let's look into the whole thing.
Sometimes it's the delivery.
Cindy is on here from Boynton with her thoughts. You're a former teacher, Cindy?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm retired now.
What would you say in this situation? This parent overhears in the virtual class that the teacher is teaching blatantly bad information to their kid.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to say if the teacher is that ignorant, it's my opinion that teacher, you don't know what other incorrect information he or she could be teaching the kids. And so if the teacher's that ignorant, because that's pretty common knowledge that it's not on a train under the ground, that, you know, perhaps a firing is called for. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
But as far as the advice to go to the teacher first in a case like this, I would advise not to go to the teacher first for all the reasons you guys have said, because you don't know the teachers that can be vindictive, or you just don't know. And then that could really screw it up for your kid for the rest of the year. So it's always been, and I always used to tell my students, go to the principal. Go straight to the principal. Have your parents. It's even it's better for the parent to go to the principal.
Okay.
And the more parents that go to the principal about something, then they build a little file because they'll listen to the parents before almost anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my advice.
That is good advice, Cindy. Thank you very much. Somebody else texted and said, my advice is to not say anything. You can't really get too far deep into those things. Most of the things being taught in school nowadays can fall into the category as questionable, just like Bird says. If we're going to get it right, we need to go back and rewrite our whole history books. But, yeah, I think in this case, I don't think anybody's going to rewrite to say there were actual trains underground.
I know there's a lot of people who don't like the way some of the colleges are being,
Sure.
It's too liberal.
And there are things that you can debate
Agreed.
that are being, but I don't think this is one example that you can.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no evidence of any physical trains underground.
There are certain things that happen in history you just can't debate. It really happened that way.
I just don't think that this is the one that you can sit down and be like, no, let me tell you why there really were trains for the Underground Railroad. Let me see. Somebody said that, a lot of what Cindy said, so it seems like some pretty solid advice. So appreciate you getting through to help out people that are going through issues. You got anything you ever want to get to us? mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com. All right, students, are you all ready to think fast here today?
Yes, Mr. Ralston.
Woohoo, let's do this.
Do you like Mr. Ralston or Professor Ralston?
I think a professor is better. Yeah, I like that.
Well, you're old. You've earned it.
Absolutely. And with age, there are certain things you need to get. That's one thing I want. All right. I got some different questions here for you. You got to give us an answer that is on topic. Suits and myself will be the judges here as to whether or not it qualifies as a correct answer. So we will judge them. It's whoever can answer first here and think fast. That's what it's all about. All right. First up. Think fast. Something you might see in a bar fight that starts with the letter B.
Bottle.
Suits is pointing to Denny's.
What?
I don't know. That felt like it was Bird.
Blood was before bottle.
Yeah, I think so too.
Reek, what are you doing in there?
You still got Corona?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on delay. You got the Corona delay.
Corona took your hearing?
What did you say, Denny?
A bottle.
Both would work. I would take both as a correct answer, but we're going on speed, and that's why Bird's going to get the point on this one.
Dang, Soup just got outruled.
Dang.
Yeah, I could see it. He can't see. I could see your face. All right, Bird gets the first point here.
Uh-oh.
Okay, next up. Something people put in their coffee that starts with the letter I.
Ice.
Jay-Bird, yes. Very nice. Iced coffee.
I was thinking of all the other things, but ice.
I almost said iguana.
Iguana.
Iguana coffee, delicious. Look at this. Bird is up 2-0 already.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, controversial. Very close.
Okay, think fast here. Something used for home improvement that starts with the letter P.
Pipes.
Oh.
Okay, pipes. We could take that. Yes, paint.
Plumbing. Pipes.
Yeah.
Me and Denny's are so bad at home improvement.
What are pipes?
No, Denny's is good, actually.
Okay, Virginia on the board here. Denny's, you got to wake up.
Oh, man.
Falling behind here. All right, something you might eat for breakfast that starts with the letter G.
Goldfish.
Grits!
Grits makes more sense.
Grits does make more sense.
Yeah,
But
it does.
kids do love goldfish. I can see a kid eating that for breakfast.
Okay, Jay-Bird, since you're arguing for Virginia, I'll give it to her.
Gosh, I'm dumb.
He wants to keep it a tight race.
Yeah, he has. You just tied it.
Damn it.
Yeah. Okay, 2-2. Denny's, if you don't get this, you are eliminated.
Oh, come on, Denise.
Sweet peace train.
Okay, next up, think fast. A river in America that starts with the letter C.
Colorado.
Oh, Bird, very nice. Denny's, you are eliminated.
Damn, Denny's.
Okay, and Virginia, you got to get this or you are eliminated.
Uh-oh.
Okay, a piece of fishing equipment that starts with the letter L.
Lure.
Oh! She's a woman of the ocean.
Wow.
She's very quick. aquatic.
I love some fish.
Whoa. Okay, this is it. Final one.
Wow.
For the championship here of Think Fast.
I'm leaving it all out there, man.
Okay, it is a popular home feature not often found in South Florida that starts with the letter C. A popular home feature not often found in South Florida that starts with the letter Bird for the win!
Good job.
Bird for the win. Chimney, is it?
He's exhausted.
He should be.
Someone get him a water.
Wow, so tiring.
That's nice.
Very nice. Well played there, Bird. Congratulations. You're today's winner. All right, who do you need to call out here today? You can let us know, 877-979-9763 at the KVJ show. Somebody just texted and said, yeah, I'd like to call out everybody at my university who's going to parties and clubs. I'd really prefer the campus to stay open, but it won't if people keep going on the way that they are. Yeah, there's tons of videos I keep seeing pretty much every single day and after every weekend. It'd be like, can you believe this is going on at so-and-so university? And the kids are just raging. You know, it doesn't even look like a pandemic's going on.
Well, there's so many of those videos now. At first they were shocking, but now it's just like, all right, I guess every place is having a problem with this.
Yeah, I mean, now I think the one I saw over the weekend was at a school in Minnesota. I don't know if it was University of Minnesota or just a school in Minnesota, but that was one where somebody was all upset. I think it was freshmen. I think they were even at a dorm.
Oh, wow.
They were all together and watching TV and going crazy. And
leave it to the freshmen.
What do they know, these freshmen? I got an email, too. Somebody said, I want to call out the COVID-positive a-holes. My daughter's gymnastics coach begged her class to go to her wedding a few Saturdays ago. Now, there was supposed to be about 50 people outside, and we thought it'd be fine until it started raining and everybody goes running inside.
Oh, boy.
See, everything was all, it's going to be fine. We're going to be social distance. And then... Well, Monday's gymnastics class after the wedding was canceled because all the coaches got exposed to coronavirus. Apparently, at the wedding, the best man knew he had tested positive earlier in the week, but he didn't want to miss the big day. He even wound up walking the elderly family members down the aisle with COVID. How wrong is that?
Oh my gosh, he knew and he walked elderly family members down the aisle?
Yeah, so he did that at the wedding. Then because he's around all the other gymnastics instructors, they all have now had to quarantine and the gymnastics class was canceled. And on top of it, they notified us there won't be any refunds.
How much does everybody hate that guy? I mean,
that guy needs to move because I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to get your life back. Everybody hates you.
Okay, if that was Panda's boy, let's say one of this Panda did that. What? He never is going to be forgiven with you?
Never.
Never. Even if he falls on the sword and says he's so sorry.
You walked the elderly down the aisle, you're done. You know, I will write somebody off real quick.
Oh, for way less.
Forever.
Yes.
You're done. You're on the list. You are never, ever allowed back in the circle.
Virginia's list, once you're on it, it's almost impossible to get off. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's pretty close, man.
It's tough. Pretty ironclad.
Yes.
I mean, I hope none of the elderly family members got it. Do we have an update on Grandma?
Not yet.
You give it to Grandma and you take her out. We got big problems with you.
Yeah, and it didn't necessarily say that any of the other instructors got it. It's just that when they realized they were around somebody, then they're like, all right, we have to now quarantine, so it's canceled out gymnastics classes just because they're around this guy.
Well, it screws everything up.
It does, yeah. That's kind of part of it. You know, positive or not, a lot of people are like, hey, you know, now you got to quarantine. Another call-em-out email we got, it says, my husband and I, we're starting in vitro soon, but we are still trying to conceive naturally. So I've been picking up some pregnancy tests at the drugstore, and I'm at the front of a long line when the cashier sees them and asks out really loud, now, is this for a good thing or is it for a bad thing?
Look, lippy cashiers need to keep it shut.
It happens, though, man. You're shocked that...
She says, I look around now. Obviously, everybody is looking at me. This woman was probably in her early 60s, and I said, it's a good thing if it actually works. And she said, oh, God. I never know what to say when somebody buys these things.
You don't say anything.
Nothing.
You just ring it up and shut up.
How about how's your day going?
Yeah. Welcome to Walgreens. I don't know.
But it does happen. There are lippy cashiers out there.
Where they just want to announce your purchases.
Opinions.
I never know what to say. Well, it's not appropriate for you to say anything, actually. People going like to the drugstore and the pharmacy don't want to talk about what they're buying.
No.
Because a lot of times it's like butt stuff or pregnancy tests or condoms. Like, you don't want to engage.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to get in and out.
Because at the Walmart that I go to, all of the pregnancy stuff, the condom stuff, it's in this glass case. And I heard a girl go, I need a pregnancy test. And you just see like 5 heads. Everybody look over there. And then you see the person opening up that case.
And they're looking to see, is she married?
I couldn't believe how loud it was. Not that it should make it, but everybody was looking at her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Let me see another column out here. There was a lot of stuff going on the next door in my neighborhood this weekend. My goodness, it was just a constant source of entertainment.
Mine too. It was getting political. People were yelling at each other.
Yeah, mine went from an alleged racist lady that was saying terrible things to black residents in this community, and then people are like going, "Oh, don't get into this race baiting girl who's trying to call me out," and just. Wow, it was just crazy.
Oh, my.
Very insane read going on this weekend. And then I saw this one, too. Janet had posted this up on the next door, calling out, I'd like to let everybody know that this guy put his poo bag under my tire of my patrol car. I'm not sure why he would do such a thing. This is just a heads up for the cops that live in the area. And she had the video of this guy. He was walking his dog, and he clearly goes and puts something underneath her front tire of her patrol car.
I mean, what an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
That's odd.
Well, there's cameras everywhere.
And what are you going to do? Like, oh, your tire's rolled over poo. Oh, like, is that really going to hurt the person?
Well, it's gross. You have to.
You got a little poo on your tire, but I mean, just drive. It'll fall off.
Yeah.
I feel like you wouldn't handle that well, though. You seem calm right now about it, but I feel like if someone's putting poop underneath your tire, you would be very mad.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
If it was a repeat offense.
All right, anybody else that you need to call out to say that ain't right, change your behavior, you can let us know, 877-979-WRMF. And if you got something good, you can let us know, too.
97.9 WRMF knows 2020 has been tough.
Help me, please.
So we're putting food on your table. It's the KVJ Workday Grocery Giveaway with $200 in free groceries. Tell us when you listen throughout the workday. And then just listen for the KVJ show to call your name. Call us back and win. Let us know when you listen at work now. Sign up at WRMF.com.
Powered by Scott Smith Injury Law.
Boys Night Part 2. If you missed Boys Night 1, that was a party that happened. Virginia, you're out of town. Is that right, Virginia?
I was conveniently out of town and unable to find out about anything that happened until after it had already happened.
I honestly, it was just supposed to be me, Bigfoot, and Panda, and then Bigfoot's fiance came home. I didn't know. Then her friend
She was
with.
supposed to be out of town.
Well, how is that my fault though?
Well, she brought a bunch of girlfriends, and they're dancing around in bikinis, and I'm watching a Facebook video, and I'm like, son of a biscuit.
Yeah, but
this thing was supposed to be a boys' night. Why are there girls twerking?
Again, I explained my case. I hope I've said enough, Your Honor. Apparently, I haven't. Nobody knew that was going to go down.
So there's going to be another boys' night?
Well, we're supposed to go camping.
Mm-hmm.
Camping this weekend.
Oh, bikini girls love camping.
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
they can't get
skinny
enough.
dipping in the pond.
Supposed to be no girls there. It's supposed to be boys trip, camping trip.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a text thread right now about it. Yeah, it is this weekend.
How many Hooters waitresses are on the text thread with you?
0 Hooter waitresses. Once again, I'm signing up for.
It's just a guy's trip.
Just a guy's trip. I
no
mean,
girls at all.
Again, I'm not married.
The cabin is Twin Peaks. That's where they're going.
You wouldn't care. Quit acting like you're all mad. You're not mad. Whatever.
I'm not mad.
You trust Panda.
But I don't like being sold a bag of lies, and then it has an aura of like, oh, she's cool, she'll put up with anything. No, don't tell me something's going to be one thing and then let me watch Facebook and see bikini girls twerking, because I'm going to be like, wait, what the hell?
Right.
Well, I mean,
I'm cool.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you as your friend what happened that night. I was hanging out with Bigfoot and Panda in the back of his house, and all of a sudden, his fiance came home with her friends. I don't know what you want from me.
She was supposed to be out of town.
I don't know what you want from me.
Why did she bring 7 girls, and why were they all in bikinis?
She didn't bring 7 girls, and if you look back at the video, there's 2 people there.
No, there was more that came.
That's not true.
Virginia, do you think that this will be a legit boys' adventure, or do you expect somehow there will be...
I don't know if I can trust anymore. I've lost a lot of the trust that I had concerning matters of boys' night.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'm just glad I'm not married, because
there'd be probably a lot of wives that'd be like, I'm not so sure about this.
I had nothing to do with it, and Virginia's giving me crap. But I had nothing to do with this. Yeah. What am I supposed to do? Go, hey, get out of your own house. Get out of your house, damn it.
Get out of your house.
And take all 6 of those hotties with you.
That'll go over well. Get out of your own house.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous. Kick them out.
I can't wait to hear the updates. Should be
I don't think I'm going.
Yeah. Well, there are people that have contentious moments in relationships. When they do, they send us an email, and then we rule should they make up or break up in that relationship. Here's some of the emails. One says, I've been with my girlfriend for 2 years. The other day, I was telling her about one of my coworkers who got caught having an affair. Now, I'm no big fan of this person, so I made the comment that only a terrible human being would knowingly wreck a marriage. My girlfriend got really defensive. She said, that's not true. I asked her how she could defend somebody who did that. She said, well, because I have, okay?
Oh, boy.
And I was floored. Over the next 30 minutes, she revealed how she fell for a married man 5 years ago and became blinded by love and didn't care who she hurt in the process. She says that she now sees where she was wrong, but she says that she wasn't a bad person. She says that sometimes love can make you do some uncharacteristically bad things. I'm not so sure that I agree. In fact, I'm not sure if I can stay with a person who thinks this. Would you? Would this be a reason to break up with somebody?
I mean, just the fact that she says that she's grown and learned and has regret now. Yeah, when you're in it, sometimes love does make you do stupid, crazy things.
You just said you hate liars.
I don't ever endorse breaking up a marriage, but people sometimes lose themselves and go crazy and do stupid things that they later regret. But she needs to have regret and remorse. That's the one thing you need to make sure.
That seems like it's lacking.
So we can forgive this, but we cannot forgive boys' night. All right, I see where we're going here.
Right.
Yeah, there was just too much twerking.
Okay, so the remorse would be nice, and that is problematic. Is it enough where she's only a girlfriend, and maybe you're seeing, okay, I just don't know if our standards line up?
And a girlfriend is a test drive for a wife.
Yeah.
If you don't like the car, don't buy it.
Mm-hmm. Is Walls Pennington out on this one?
Love. I mean, love is real stupid.
He's for breaking up every marriage.
No, I am not.
He doesn't judge her.
You said 5 years before?
5 years, yeah.
That's not that long ago.
Okay, they've been together for 2.
It's in my head that she wrecked a marriage and almost kind of.
She went after it. She knew what she was doing. She knew the guy was married. She wanted the guy more and said he should be with me. And so she, did what she needed to do and wrecked his marriage, was with him, and obviously isn't anymore.
And she's changed, you say? Has she, though?
I don't know about change. She just is defending what she did and said, love sometimes makes you do things that, you wouldn't normally do.
And Wallace Pennington's annoyed. I hate it. You're defending it. I'm out.
Yeah, the fact she's not more remorseful. Yeah.
You need her to be apologetic and owning it as a mistake. And I don't know if he's hearing enough of that.
Yeah.
I feel like when someone falls on the sword and they legit come off and they're sincere with their apology, now we can start talking about some things. But you're still kind of defending your gross behavior. Yeah, Wallace Pennington's out.
What about this email, makeup or breakup here? I've been dating this girl for 6 weeks. We were intimate for the first time almost a week ago, and then a few days later, she wants to meet for coffee because she has something important to tell me. When we meet, she informs me that she is almost 3 months pregnant from her ex.
Oh, boy.
Apparently, he left the state to move back to his hometown when he found out that she was pregnant. So he finds out, takes off, and goes home. She said she didn't tell me at first because she really liked me and didn't imagine we'd actually sleep together. I admit that I really fell for her too, but this is a lot. My better judgment is telling me that this part of her life is this dysfunctional, then I shouldn't be involved with her. Another part of me is telling me that if I truly care for her, then why should this matter that she's pregnant? Which part of me do I listen to?
Oh, boy, that's a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah.
Well, the good news, it's not yours.
Yeah. Well, if you stay with her, it will,
yeah,
eventually, be something that.
So there was a lot there. So
yeah.
she broke. She slept with somebody while they.
It was her ex. She got pregnant by her ex. She told her ex. Her ex took off and went back to his home state, wherever that might be.
And
so
now,
he's gone.
And now she's dating this new guy.
Yeah, and I mean, really quickly afterwards.
And she didn't tell him she was pregnant already when she slept with him? Did she know?
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah, she knew she was pregnant when she slept with the new guy.
Yeah, because she said, I really didn't expect us to get to that point. Apparently, they got caught up in the heat of the moment, and she did not reveal before they were intimate that she was pregnant.
He needs to get in a car, turn around, and drive very far.
Yeah.
Far away from this relationship.
Yeah.
It's too new for all this baggage.
Yeah, this is a lot for it to be so new. It's just, sometimes you mess things up before they can get started.
Think about you think the guy's out of the picture. What if he comes back? There's a lot of unanswered questions here. Well, you don't want to start off with.
Yeah. There's a lot of baggage and a lot of drama that you are going to inherit very quickly, and you need a pretty smooth run to start off a relationship. And if this is how it begins, then yeah, I'd save yourself a lot of heartache and just get out of it now. And one more here. My girlfriend and I have completely different tastes on what is funny. I'm starting to wonder if this is a deal breaker. From our taste in movies to our taste in stand-up comedians, we just don't think the same things are funny. Over the course of 2 years together, it never really bothered me until now. I love watching those Comedy Central roasts. Yes, they're a little crude, but I think they are hilarious. But the other night when I was watching one of them, my girlfriend did nothing but trash the whole thing the entire time. And she kept calling the comedians bad people because they were so toxic. On the other hand, she loves all this corny stuff on YouTube. She likes a comedian named Lily Singh, who is just the absolute worst. My girlfriend loves all her videos, and I can't think of anything unfunnier on the planet. When we first started dating, it never really bothered me, but it does now for some reason. Well, that's because the shine is off the relationship, and this is just usually what happens. When you are in a bad relationship, everything starts to annoy you about the other person, and that's usually the beginning of the end.
You're getting to know each other, and you don't like each other.
Yeah.
And I think sense of humor is a big deal.
It is.
If you find the Comedy Central roast very funny, which I do too, and she's offended and saying this and that, you guys are not going to gel very well.
Sense of humor is a very important thing to kind of have the same sensibilities. And if you don't, then I don't know how you could reconcile that relationship. It'd be tough.
Well, it's so much fun when you're with somebody and you guys are set the same and you laugh together. That's a big part of a relationship. If she's not laughing at what you're laughing at and you're not laughing at what she's laughing at, that's a major disconnect.
It sounds like you're getting a lecture while you're trying to watch a comedy show, and that's not,
She sounds awful.
So Virginia's out.
I'm out. I mean, he sounds dateable, but she doesn't.
I bet you if we talk to them in 2 months, they're not together.
Yeah, I think this sounds like it should be the end. So there you go. Do you have your wallet on you, Jaybird?
I don't.
Okay. I just got an email about where it is.
Is it in the grass like the last time they found it?
I will let you know where Jaybird's wallet is supposedly turned up. Yeah, no idea, huh?
You got an email?
Yeah, I did.
When did you get this email?
It just came through, so... And he didn't realize it was gone, but it is.
I got pickpocketed again?
No, I think he just dropped it, yeah.
Pickpocketed. Yeah, you got a hole in the interior of your pocket.
Yeah.
That's why it keeps falling out.
Well, so where is Bird's wallet now? We'll find out next. Where in the world is Jaybird's wallet? Just asked him a second ago as he just realized that he does not have it.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
Not on me.
Yeah. Not on you.
And this is not a best of.
This is a new Monday morning episode.
And don't send me emails about how I don't have my life together. I know. I know this.
Were you out this weekend getting some watermelon sugar and you left your wallet behind?
Uh-huh.
I am a moron. Where's my wallet? Is this going to be a game where I got to...
What do you think it might be if you had to say? Just one guess.
Yeah, let's go over all the places you were this weekend and all the company you kept.
What would be your number one guess if you had to say, where do you think your wallet is?
Number one guess would be Publix.
You're going to go with Publix?
Yes.
Where shopping is a pleasure.
Village Publix? Nice.
Yay!
I must have left it at the cashier area.
It says, hey, we think we have Jason's wallet at the Publix and Village Boulevard. Blue color? Is it blue?
Blue?
Blue. Blue collar?
No, it's brown.
Oh, okay. It says there's an ID inside. Sounds like your ID.
What?
Your ID's in somebody else's wallet?
It's always weird. It never makes
It can never be normal with
Did you
this
drop
cat.
it in blue dye? Or?
I was at Publix. The time I would have lost a wallet would have been at the Village Publix. So that's odd but I do not have a blue wallet.
Well, you had to make your purchase and somehow pay for the chocolate cake. So then you probably dropped it going out.
No, what I could have done was, because I did a very, very big grocery shopping on Saturday. And I was a little off my game, I guess. And I think I might have left it at the cashier.
Okay. All right.
I guess I dyed it blue. I don't... I really don't know what's going on.
Well, go see James or any manager to claim. Lillian sent that in. Thank you, Lillian.
Thank you, Lillian.
Yeah, there you go. So that's where your wallet is.
He's so confused.
Blue wallet.
I know.
When you bring it in here, it's going to be blue. And we're going to laugh at you.
So
I
are
hope
you
you
trying
know.
to tell me I don't know that I have a blue wallet?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's exactly what I'm trying to tell you.
You think it really is blue?
I think it really is.
No,
I mean, she's holding it.
I know.
Lillian is holding it, and you're telling her that she's not looking down at blue.
Can Lillian send a picture, possibly?
Okay, I'll ask if she could send a photo.
And maybe even take a picture of the ID. This is weird. This is weird.
Okay.
Of everything around you is always weird. Why would you expect it to be anything different?
My wallet's brown, baby.
Okay, I just sent her a message right now on Facebook. Yes, Lillian, could you please send a photo? So,
All right,
see.
let's
At least
see
we know
what
where your wallet
happens.
is. That's the good news. Okay.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
This is kind of odd. It turns out there is actually one language that can spread coronavirus more than any other language.
Oh, it's got to be something with a...
Yeah, like maybe Arabic-y thing or something like that, or Hebrew.
A sprayer.
Yeah, I was going to say that is a good guess, but unfortunately for us, it's English.
Oh.
They say that English is a language that leads to a lot of spitting, and they're finding out that it can spread coronavirus more than speaking other languages.
Dang.
Yeah. How about that? So stop speaking English. I guess that's the only thing you can do. There is actually a bar here in Florida that has banned face masks.
What?
Yes, you heard that right. Not the other way around. They've banned face masks.
So if you try to go in there, get the hell out of our bar.
You're getting kicked out, yeah. It is the West Side Sports Bar and Lounge in West Melbourne, Florida. The owner says, yeah, we don't support them. We do not believe in them. He says somebody committed a crime while wearing a mask and was not identifiable on the security cameras. And he said those who go in with a mask are going to be asked to take it off. And if they don't, they're going to be forced to leave.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Now,
going the other way?
Yeah, that's it. So I guess know what you're getting into. If you're one of those people who doesn't believe in wearing a mask, good news, you found your place to go.
Yeah, if you want to catch COVID, here's your drinking hole.
Yeah.
That's a good name for it, drinking hole.
Yeah. The bar does serve food, so they weren't forced to shut down like others in the state. So
interesting.
There you go. Let me see some other stuff that is going on here. Dangerous in the Florida Keys. If you're doing a little bit of diving, a dude from Georgia just jumped in the water to do a little bit of snorkeling. Thought it'd be a lot of fun until he jumped onto a bull shark who didn't appreciate him landing so close to him and took a big chunk out of his shoulder.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Is the bull shark kind of happy though? He's like, oh, I got a mouthful of shoulder.
That's probably fun for him. You know, I mean, why not? Yeah, they had to take the guy by air ambulance, they call it, to Ryder Trauma Center in Miami.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was an 8 to 10 foot bull shark that he jumped in and boom, it got him right away. This is right off Sombrero Key. So
that's horrifying.
At about 10:30 a.m. yesterday, yeah.
Magnolia said that they saw a bull shark in the backwaters of Jupiter, like where they a lot of times go to scurf off the back of the boat. Like it's off the inlet, like back in one of those pieces of water. They saw a bull shark.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah, you want to stay away from those.
They'll eat you 9 different ways, Virginia.
Scary.
Oh, this is great for Halloween. This is very scary as well. What a great prop, too, and a fun little prank. There's a company in Japan. They started selling these prank knives for Halloween called finger slicers. That's fun, right? So it looks like it's got blood all over it. It looks like you just chopped off your fingers with this knife.
I love it.
But here's where things get confusing. This exact same company that sells the finger slicers actually sells real knives. And somehow, somebody got confused and they put in some of the real knives in the finger slicer packaging. So people are like going to try a little prank and be like, look, I'm going to chop off my fingers. And then what do you know? It's going to look so realistic, like they really have cut off their fingers, because you know what? They really have cut off their fingers, because guess what? It's a real knife.
This could be a problem.
Yeah, they've tried a frantic recall. No word if anybody's actually severed a finger yet on the real knives, but
I mean, who's the dummy that's in packing and shipping that put real knives in with the fake Halloween prop knives?
I don't feel like it was the right way to go.
I feel like it's a setup.
Well, you ever get a cereal box and there's some kind of another cereal in the box?
Never.
Just like a few, like you'll have a Cocoa Puff or something, 1 or 2 in a Kellogg's. You've never had that?
Never, but I don't eat a lot of cereal like you.
Because sometimes every now and then another cereal can creep through.
How about that?
It's rare. But
Won't kill you.
Won't kill you.
No,
Get
won't
you
take off
talking.
your fingers. There's a woman in Oklahoma got pulled over last week, and she had a suspended license and a warrant.
Oh.
But she tried to get out of it by saying that it was her birthday, and she needed to poop.
We have audio.
She could see that the birthday thing wasn't working.
I mean, she sounds hot. Let's hear it.
Okay, it's my birthday. Okay, that's not going very well. And I need to poop. Okay. All right. Is this the woman that started dancing during the DUI stop?
It should be.
Okay.
Step to your left. Stop. Put your hands up. Face away from me. Step to your left. One more time. Step back. Keep your hands up. Step back.
That's not
Keep
it.
coming until I tell you to stop. Stop.
That's the wrong clip.
Oh, okay. Which one is it? Do you know what it's labeled?
I'm trying to find that right now. Why do I every time I say Kevin, there's a clip.
Maybe the clip is with your wallet.
Is the clip blue?
You got to call Lorraine over at Publix if you want to hear the clip.
My email's down. Sorry, Kevin. I don't have it. Is that funny for you, Virginia? Is that funny?
Pretty funny.
I can't send it. It's not sent to you, Kevin. But I tell you what, I heard it earlier, and it was great.
It was a great clip. Well, thank you for that report. That's really good.
You need to reenact it.
Yeah.
They're calling me Bit Killer in the chat
All this
room.
build-up, I mean, you got to reenact it.
I'm having a rough Monday. I still am.
Got no wallet.
I'm blown away with this wallet thing.
Got no clips.
I'm blowing it.
All you got's a song.
Screwing up the show, killer, messing up the flow, killer, the show is now ruined, killer, what the hell are you doing?
Okay, there we go.
Why is my wallet below?
Regardless, this woman was arrested after a high-speed chase because after they wouldn't let her off after she said she had to poop, she sped off.
She sped off?
Yes. No word on if she really did have to poo or not, but she was charged with several felony counts.
What a bad decision on top of bad decision.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
There are days and then there are days.
What do you think when you see a guy in New Hampshire doing jumping jacks in his neighbor's driveway and sniffing the shrubs?
He's on something, Kevin.
Yep, you're right. He's on meth.
Okay.
Just to let you know. Yeah. Shirtless, no shoes, jumping jacks. You're like, yeah. And I bet he was doing them really fast.
Look, it makes snooping on your neighbors fun when they're putting on a show.
That's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Why not?
It's very COVID friendly, too, snooping on your neighbors.
There's a guy who was being strip searched in jail in Louisiana. They found a little item there in his buttocks, apparently a loaded pistol.
A whole entire gun?
It was a rifle. No.
And it was in a carrying case.
No, they say the handgun, which was a 2.5-inch barrel, measured just over 4 inches long. It was loaded, and the police chief said, whoever thought a 25 caliber pistol could be an assault weapon. I said, hello, is this thing on? It's an assault weapon.
I'm not mad at that joke.
Okay. And finally, wrapping it up here in your whacked out news, the IG Nobel Prize. The Ig Nobel Prize was just handed out. It's those awards that are given to the most ridiculous advances in science. Here were the final nominees. There was a team of archaeologists who studied whether knives made out of frozen human poo could ever be effective weapons. In case you're wondering, they weren't. Another one, scientists who gave an alligator helium to see how it would affect the alligator's voice compared to how it affects human voices.
Okay.
In case you were wondering.
I am.
I would watch that.
What do they find out?
I gotta get the results on that one. I don't know. And finally, another one that was nominated, a psychology study that tried to figure out a way to tell if someone's a narcissist by examining their eyebrows. So there you go. Science. That's what they're looking for.
Do you examine yours?
Oh, I'm really big into brows. I got my new brow stuff in the mail, so my brows don't look as crazy dark as they did last week.
Okay.
Last week I was having to use some rickety brow stuff. I got the new stuff back.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Kevin was texting me earlier, like, Virginia's brows are
Rickety.
so not on point.
Got a mystery sound for you here today. I want to see if you can tell me what you think this might be. What do you think this mystery sound is here? You had to guess. I'll let you know it is aggravating the whatever out of me. It is one of these things in my life that is just confusing and driving Kev crazy. What could that be?
I got some guesses.
I got some guesses, too.
Okay.
The bird's involved, isn't he?
I don't know. Maybe. I'll let you know what it is and take your guesses next.
This is 97.9 WRMF, Palm Beach.
All right, I got a mystery sound here for you today. Can you tell me what this is? You had to guess.
It's something that's annoying you?
Yeah.
I think I know what it is.
I think I do too.
Okay. What do you think it is?
I think your neighbor has some kind of wind chimes that's keeping you up at night that you can hear.
Okay. That's a good guess. What do you think, Virginia?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I think it's a wind chime of either your wife's. Maybe your wife hung it up and you're mad at it and she won't let you take it down.
It almost sounds like it's hanging up in a car.
Yeah.
Could be ice, too.
Yeah, Jaybird is actually getting pretty close there. And that's...
She put a wind chime up in her car, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, okay.
Remember when we got the house tented, what was that, 5 weeks ago?
Yeah, like a little over a month.
So you had to take some things down from the exterior of the house, and that included the wind chimes, which she just put and hung in her car, but she's now decided that she likes them. But anytime I'm riding with her, that's the constant sound that you have. And I'm like, how is that not driving you insane? She's like, I kind of like it. So everywhere we're going...
She's got hanging wind chimes that constantly make noise in the car.
I knew that's what it was.
This is what it sounds like driving in our car. And I'm like, I got to record this so people can get an idea. Imagine being on the road for any length of time, and this is what it sounds like the entire time you're driving.
Are the windows up?
Yes.
They're up, and it's making that much sound.
Yes. Because any movement,
yeah.
it's the movement of the car. That's what it sounds like.
Kevin, that's insanity.
That's rough.
I feel like sometimes it's an experiment just to see how much I can take.
I think she's trying to break you.
I think she is, and I almost did. I'm like, you got to get rid of the wind chimes.
Serenity now!
I couldn't handle that. There's no way I can handle that.
Oh my gosh, that would drive me insane. You're not going to be able to hear stuff on the road. You're not going to be able to hear if something weird is going on with your car.
It's not bothering her at all, but it's just so distracting to me.
She likes the sound.
She likes the sound of you being aggravated.
I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I'm like, I can promise you there is no one else that has wind chimes in their car.
There
I don't
shouldn't
think.
be. It's not safe.
Doesn't feel like
you need
it's
to
safe.
hear what's going on outside of your car.
And you can still hear, but you hear that too. So I can only imagine how much noise the wind chimes will make if we ever get into an accident.
Oh my gosh. They're going to be popping.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of crazy. Who's got the weirdest item in their car right now? Somebody texts in. I don't think this is weird. I think it's awesome. They said a mini fridge. Man, I love to have a mini fridge in my car.
A mini fridge? That's amazing.
You're doing it right, but how you doing that?
I saw a fancy car one time, and like the center console, you lifted it up, and it was a mini fridge.
Gosh, that is fancy.
That is doing it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You could do a low
pretty
budget style. Just put up one of those coolers in the back. Just a regular cooler.
But it's next level
It's
when it
different.
refrigerates itself, and you don't have to do anything.
Oh, that's amazing.
It does all
Yeah.
the work.
Yep.
Oh, I'm riding shotgun with a beer 24/7.
There you go.
Nobody does it.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said, I used to have fuzzy handcuffs hanging from the rearview mirror. That's where you see a lot of the oddest stuff, is the things that people either put on their rearview mirror or on their dashboard. That's usually the weirdest stuff.
Fuzzy handcuffs. You're going to get some people that have some stuff to say to you at a red light.
Well, you're sending the message out to the world. that
Yeah.
I'm kinky.
I'm kinky, and I want you to know I'm kinky.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
You are going to get some comments. Oh, fuzzy handcuffs.
Want to try those out?
You're at a red light. You're
But
trapped.
you're only going to get them from creepy dudes. And
Yeah.
the guys that you really want to attract and want to use them on are not going to say anything to you, probably.
You're right.
And then that's why you take them down. So there you go. Probably not the song to play for Ellen to walk out on her show today. Toxic. But she did address what was going on with the show today. Now, we're getting this late, and this just happened. We'll have kind of more of a full review on the show tomorrow. Maybe we can even do some on the After the Show podcast. I'll give you just a taste in the tone of what Ellen used today.
All right, let's get to it. As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show, and then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected. I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize that with that comes responsibility, and I take responsibility for what happens at my show. This is the Ellen DeGeneres Show. I am Ellen DeGeneres. My name is there. My name is there. My name is on underwear. We have had a lot of conversations over the last few weeks about the show, our workplace, and what we want for the future. We have made the necessary changes, and today we are starting a new chapter.
Okay. All right, there you go. That is the basic of Ellen addressing it. That's how she started. Tomorrow on The Dirt, I'm sure Virginia will have a deeper dive into that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what the people that were let go have to say. Did they
Yeah.
sign non-disclosure agreements? Are they going to talk?
I feel like they've been talking a lot.
Well, I feel like, she's trying to say that it was all these other people, but we've heard rumors that specifically it started with her.
Yeah, well, that's what we'll probably be hearing the next couple of days, and definitely do a deeper dive tomorrow on the KVJ show. We'll get into it.
Fired people, you can call the KVJ show anytime and talk about what it's really like.
That's right. Let us know the truth.
Yes.
Okay, before we get to the After the Show podcast, live on Facebook and YouTube in just about 5 minutes, Jaber, give us our thought.
Thank you, Positive K. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves.
You're listening to the KVJ Show.